Good day to our respected lecturer, Dr. Franklin, and my fellow classmates. Today, we are pleased to present our Marketing Research MKT537 group assignment titled Factors Influencing Retirement Savings Intention Among Young Working Adults in Sabah, Malaysia. Before we begin our presentation, I would like to introduce our group members. Here we have Ms. Juliana, myself, Sherry Elizabeth, Mr. Muhammad Nur Akmal, Ms. Jacqueline, Ms. Genevieve, and Mr. Muhammad Nakib Akmal. Without further ado, I will begin with Chapter 1, Introduction. Retirement planning has become an increasingly important issue due to rising living costs, longer life expectancy, and increasing financial responsibilities among young adults. These challenges require individuals to start planning and saving for retirement as early as possible to ensure long-term financial security and financial independence after retirement. This study aims to examine how financial literacy, retirement planning awareness, and financial self-efficacy influence retirement saving intention among young working adults in Sabah, Malaysia. Now, on to the background of the study. Retirement saving refers to the financial resources accumulated during an individual's working years to support living expenses after retirement. In recent years, retirement planning has become increasingly important due to rising inflation, increasing healthcare costs, higher living expenses, and longer life expectancy. To strengthen financial capability among Malaysians, the Financial Education Network, or FEN, introduced the second National Strategy for Financial Literacy 2026 to 2030, which promotes responsible financial behavior, including retirement planning. This issue is particularly relevant in Sabah because the state continues to face socio-economic challenges, such as lower household income and higher poverty rates compared to the national average. Therefore, understanding the factors that influence retirement savings intention among young working adults is important to encourage early retirement planning and improve long-term financial security. Next is problem statement. Although retirement planning has become an important national agenda, many young working adults are still not adequately prepared for retirement. In Sabah, lower household income and increasingly living costs make it more difficult for individuals to save consistently for retirement. Young workers also need to manage multiple financial commitments, including housing expenses, transportation costs, education loans, daily living expenses, and family responsibilities. As a result, retirement planning is often postponed. According to the Employees Provident Fund, or EPF, only 36% of active formal members achieve the basic saving benchmark appropriate for their age. Although previous studies have identified financial literacy, retirement planning awareness, and financial self-efficiency as important factors in influencing retirement saving intention, research specifically focusing on young working adults in Sabah remains limited. Therefore, this study aims to address this research gap by examining these relationships among young working adults in Sabah. Next is research question. Based on the problem identified, this study addresses 3 research questions. The first research question examines the relationship between financial literacy and retirement saving intention. The second research question examines whether retirement planning awareness has a significant relationship with retirement saving intention. Finally, the third research question examines whether financial self-efficiency has a significant relationship with retirement saving intention among young working adults in Sabah. Next, research objectives. In line with the research questions, the main objective of this study is to examine the relationship between the selected behavioral factors and retirement saving intention among young working adults in Sabah. Specifically, this study aims to investigate the relationship between financial literacy and retirement saving intention. Next, to examine the relationship between retirement planning awareness and retirement saving intention. And finally, to examine the relationship between financial self-efficacy and retirement saving intention of young working adults in Sabah. Next, scope of study. This study focuses on young working adults in Sabah, aged between 21 to 35 years, who are currently employed. The study examines 3 independent variables, namely financial literacy, retirement planning awareness, and financial self-efficacy, together with one dependent variable, which is retirement saving intention. The finding applies only to young working adults in Sabah and are not intended to represent other population groups. In addition, other factors such as income, employment status, financial obligation, and social influence are beyond the scope of this study. Next, significance of study. This study contributes both academically and practically. Academically, it expands the existing literature on retirement planning and financial behavior, particularly among young working adults in Sabah. Practically, the findings may assist policymakers, financial institutions, employers, and financial educators in developing more effective financial literacy programs and retirement planning initiatives. Employers may also use these findings to strengthen workplace financial wellness programs. Most importantly, this study encourages young working adults to develop positive financial habits, improve retirement awareness, and make informed financial decisions from the early stage of their career. That concludes for Chapter 1. Now, I would like to invite my next group member to continue with this presentation. Thank you.
Good day, everyone, and to Sir. Now I will present Chapter 2, which is the literature review. The purpose of this chapter is to review previous studies related to retirement savings intention and identify the factors that influence it. It also explains the theory used in this research, the conceptual framework, and the research hypothesis. In this chapter, I discuss the dependent variable, which is retirement savings intention. 3 dependent variables included financial literacy, retirement planning awareness, financial self-efficiency. The underpinning theory, which is the theory of plant behavior, TPB, the conceptual framework, and lastly, the research hypothesis. The first independent variable is financial literacy. Financial literacy refers to an individual's knowledge and understanding of financial concepts, including budgeting, saving, investing, loans, and insurance. People with higher financial literacy are better able to make informed financial decisions and plan for long-term financial security. Previous studies by Wijaya et al. 2020 and Ottman et al. 2024 found that financial literacy positively influences retirement planning and saving behavior. Therefore, this study expects that individuals with higher financial literacy will have stronger retirement savings intention. The second independent variable is retirement planning awareness. This refers to an individual's awareness and understanding of the importance of preparing financially for retirement. Individuals with higher awareness usually think about their future financial needs, set long-term financial goals, start saving earlier. The Financial Education Network, FEN, also identifies retirement planning awareness as a national priority under Malaysia's financial literacy strategy. Although awareness alone may not always lead to actual saving behavior, it is still considered an important factor influencing retirement savings intention. The third independent variable is financial self-efficacy. Financial self-efficacy means an individual's confidence in managing personal finances and making good financial decisions. Individuals with higher confidence are more likely to manage their income effectively, control spending, prepare budgets, save consistently for retirement. Previous research also shows that financial self-efficacy positively influences financial behavior and long-term financial planning. Therefore, this study expects financial self-efficacy to positively influence retirement savings intention. This study is guided by the theory of plant behavior, developed by Ajahn in 1991. According to TBP, a person's behavior is influenced by their intention, and intention is influenced by behavioral beliefs and perceptions. TPB is widely used in studies related to financial behavior, saving behavior, investment decisions, retirement planning. Therefore, TPB is considered suitable to explain retirement savings intention among young working adults in Malaysia. This is the conceptual framework of the study. The framework shows the relationship between three independent variables: financial literacy, retirement planning awareness, financial self-efficacy, and one dependent variable, which is retirement saving intention. Based on previous literature and TPB, all three independent variables are expected to positively influence retirement savings intention among young working adults in Sabah. Based on previous studies, three hypotheses have been developed. Hypothesis 1, financial literacy has a positive relationship with retirement savings intention. Hypothesis 2, retirement planning awareness has a positive relationship with retirement savings intention. Hypothesis 3, financial self-efficacy has a positive relationship with retirement savings intention. These hypotheses will be tested using data collected from respondents in Chapter 4.
Salam sejahtera and good afternoon, Doctor. My name is Jinibi binti Julius Dominic. Now I will present Chapter 3, which is the research methodology of our study. This chapter explains how research was conducted. It includes the research design, population and sampling, data collection method, research instrument and data analysis. The purpose of the methodology to ensure the data collected are reliable, valid and suitable for answering our research question. Now we move to the research design. Now we continue to the research design. For this study, we use quantitative research design. A quantitative approach appropriate because it allows us to collect numerical data and analyze the relationship between the variable using statistical technique. The study adopt a cross-sectional survey design where a data collected only one form responded through an online questionnaire created by using Google Form. The questionnaire consists of closed-ended question measured using a 5-point likely scale ranging from strongly disagree to strongly agree. This method is effective, time-saving, and suitable for collecting responses from many young working adults. The data will later be analyzed using SPSS. Purpose of this research to examine the relationship between the independent variables and retirement saving intention. Now we continue to the population and sampling. The target population of this study is young working adults in Malaysia aged between 21 and 35 years old. This age group was selected because they have started working, earning income, and making important financial decisions such as budgeting, paying loan, and planning for their future. Young adults also have longer period to accumulate retirement saving, making them an important group for studying retirement saving intention. Since it's possible to collect data from every young working adult in Malaysia, we use sampling to obtain respective data while saving time and cost. We targeting is around Malaysia, especially in Sabah. Now we continue to data collection method. This study used primary data collection. The data are collect from the respondent through a structured online questionnaire developed using Google Form. The questionnaire measure the independent variables. First was financial literacy. Second was retirement planning awareness. The third is financial self-efficacy. The fourth is attitude toward retirement saving. It also measures the independent variables, which is retirement saving intention. The questionnaire is distributed through WhatsApp, Facebook, Telegram, a LinkedIn, and email, allow respondents to complete it through conveniently using their smartphone or computer. Now we continue to the research instrument. Before answering the questionnaire, respondent will receive introduction explaining the purpose of the study, that participation is voluntary, and that they may withdraw at any time. No personal information such as names or identification number will be collected. All responses will be remained confidentially and will only be used academic purpose. Respondent must also provide informed consent before participation in survey. The research instrument used this study is a structured questionnaire. It consists of 6 sections. Section A was demographic profile, Section B was financial literacy, Section C retirement planning awareness, Section D financial self-efficiency, Section E attitude towards retirement saving, and last was Section F, retirement saving intention. Most measurement items are adapted from previous study to ensure validity and reliability. The questionnaire used a 5-point like scale, where first is strongly disagree, second was disagree, third was neutral, 4 was agree, 5 was strongly agree. Last but not least, so we continue the data analysis. After collecting all the questionnaire, the data will be analyzed using statistical package for the social science or SPSS. First, the data will be screened to remove incomplete or inconsistent response. Next, several statistical analysis will be conducted. First was a descriptive statistic. The summary respondent demographic profile using frequency, percentage, means, and standard deviation. Second, reliability analysis. Use compact alpha to detect whether the questionnaire items are reliable. Third is present correlation analysis to examine the relationship between the independent variables and the dependent variables. Finally, multiply regression analysis to determine which factors significantly influence retirement saving intention among young working adults in Malaysia. In concludes, This chapter explains the methodology used in our research, a quantitative research design, online questionnaire, structure measurement instrument, and SPSS statistical analysis were are selected because they are appropriate for achieving the research objective. This method will have ensure that the findings are reliable and accurately identified the factor influencing retirement saving intention among young working adults in Malaysia. That's all for my presentation on Chapter 3 Research Methodology. Thank you for your attention.
Before performing any statistical analysis, we first conducted data cleaning. The purpose of data cleaning is to ensure that the collected data are complete, accurate, and suitable for analysis. We examine all questionnaires for missing value and incomplete responses. The result show that there were no missing values, meaning all 180 questionnaires we complete. Therefore, every response was included in the analysis. Next is the reliability analysis. Reliability analysis measure whether the questionnaires items consistently measure the intended variables. We use crunchbar alpha, where a value above 0.07 indicates acceptable reliability. As shown in the table, all variable recorded value above 0.80. This indicates that all measurement scales are highly reliable and suitable for further statistical analysis. Next, we analyze the respondent demographic profile. Out of the 180 respondents, the majority were female, and most respondents were aged between 31 and 35 years old, and the largest income earned is 3K and below. In terms of education, most respondents held a bachelor degree, and overall the demographic profile match our target population of working adult in Sabah.
Thank you, Nakib. Now I will explain the Pearson correlation analysis. Pearson correlation analysis is used to examine the strength and direction of the relationship between the independent variables and the dependent variables, which is retirement saving intention. A positive correlation means that when one variable increase, the other variables also tend to increase. Based on the result, all three independence variables show a positive and statistically significant relationship with retirement saving intention. Financial literacy recorded a correlation coefficient of 0.532. This indicates a moderate positive relationship, meaning respondents are higher financial literacy generally have a stronger attention to save for retirement. Retirement planning awareness recorded the highest correlation coefficient, which is 0.612. This suggests that respondents who are more aware of the importance of retirement planning are more likely to intend to save for retirement. Financial self-efficacy recorded a correlation coefficient of 0.543, which also indicates moderate positive relationship. This means that respondents who are more confident in managing their finance tend to have a stronger retirement saving intention. Since all significance values are below 0.001, all relationships are statistically significant. However, correlation analysis only tell us that the variables are related. It does not identify which variables actually influence retirement saving intention. Therefore, we proceed to multiple regression analysis. Now, we conduct multiple regression analysis. Unlike correlation analysis, Regression analysis examines the combined effect of all independent variables on retirement saving intention. It allows us to identify which variables significantly influence the dependent variables after controlling for the effects of the other variables. First, let's look at the model summary. The R square is 0.434. This means that for 43.4% of the variation in retirement savings attention can be explained by financial literacy, retirement planning awareness, and financial self-efficacy. In other words, these three variables explain nearly half of respondent retirement saving intention. The remaining 56.6% may be influenced by other factors that were not included in the study, such as income level, family responsibilities, employment status, or personal financial commitments. Now, we examine the ANOVA table. The significance value is less than 0.001, which is lower than the accepted level of 0.05. Therefore, the regression model is statistically significant. This confirms that our model is appropriate for explaining retirement saving attention among young working adults in Sabah. After confirming that the regression model is statistically significant, now we examine the regression coefficient. This analysis determines how each independent variable individually influences retirement saving intention while controlling for the effect of the other variables. To interpret the result, we focus on two values: B, beta, which indicates the strength and direction of the influence. Number two is significance or p-value, which determines whether the influence is statistically significant. First, financial literacy recorded a beta coefficient of 0.001 with a significant value of 0.984. Since the significant value is greater than 0.05, financial literacy does not significantly influence retirement saving intention. Although it shows a positive relationship in the correlation analysis, its effects become insignificant after considering the influence of the other variables. Next, retirement planning awareness recorded a beta coefficient of 0.451 with a significance value below 0.001. This indicates the significant positive influence on retirement saving intention. Among the three independent variables, it has the highest beta coefficient, making it the strongest predictor in the study. This suggests that respondents who have greater awareness of retirement planning more likely to intend to save for retirement. Finally, financial self-efficacy recorded a beta coefficient of 0.293 with a significant value below 0.001. This also indicates that significant positive influence on retirement savings intention. In other words, respondents who are more confident in managing their personal finance tend to have a stronger attention to save for retirement. Overall, the regression coefficient analysis shows that retirement planning awareness is the strongest predictor, followed by financial self-efficacy. Financial literacy, however, did not contribute significantly when all variables were analyzed together. Based on the regression analysis, we can now determine whether each research hypothesis is supported. Hypothesis 1 proposed that financial literacy has significant positive influence on retirement saving intention. However, because of the significant value is 0.984, which is greater than 0.05, this hypothesis is not supported. Hypothesis 2 proposed that retirement planning awareness has significant positive influence on retirement saving intention. Since the significant value is below 0.001, this hypothesis is supported. Finally, hypothesis 3 proposed that financial self-efficacy has a significant positive influence on retirement saving intention, as the significant value is also below 0.001. This hypothesis is supported. In summary, two out of three hypotheses were supported. The findings indicate that retirement planning awareness and financial self-efficacy significantly influence retirement saving intention among young working adults in Sabah. In contrast, financial literacy did not show a significant influence in the regression model. To conclude Chapter 4, all 180 questionnaires were complete and suitable for analysis. The reliability analysis confirmed that the measurement scales were internally consistent and reliable. The correlation analysis showed that all independent variables were positively related to retirement saving intention. However, the regression analysis revealed that only retirement planning awareness and financial self-efficacy significantly influence retirement saving intention. Among these variables, retirement planning awareness was identified as the strongest predictor. These findings provide empirical evidence to answer our research objectives and hypotheses and will be discussed further in Chapter 5. Thank you.
Thank you, Akmal. Now I will continue on the chapter 5 talking about discussion and also the findings. So in this section, I will discuss the finding of the study based on the research objective and hypothesis presented in chapter 1. So the discussion focuses on the relationship between the financial literacy, financial self efficacy, retirement planning awareness, and retirement saving intention among young working adults in Sabah, Malaysia. The findings are also compared with previous empirical studies. Now let's look into the findings. The first one, financial literacy and retirement saving intention. The first objective was to examine the relationship between the financial literacy and also retirement saving intention. The results show that there was a positive correlation between the financial literacy and retirement saving intention. However, after conducting multiple regression analysis, financial literacy did not significantly predict retirement saving intention, and therefore, hypothesis 1 was not supported. This means that although respondent has a good financial knowledge, this alone did not directly influence their intention to save for retirement. The findings indicate that the financial literacy increased respondent financial knowledge, but it did not influence their retirement saving intention when the financial self-efficacy and retirement planning awareness were considered. The finding the finding is consistent with previous study, which suggested that financial knowledge alone does not always translate into positive financial behavior because of financial constraint and low financial self-efficacy. So, young working adult in Sabah face many financial challenges, including house costs, car loans, education loans, transportation expenses, and the increasing cost of living. And as a result, many of them prioritize their current financial commitments over retirement saving. Therefore, improving financial literacy alone is not enough. It should be supported by stronger financial confidence and greater retirement planning awareness. We moving on, the second objective was to examine the relationship between the financial self-efficacy and retirement saving intention. So the findings show that the financial self-efficacy had a significant positive influence on retirement saving intention with a beta value of 0.293 and a significant level of less than 0.001. Therefore, here, hypothesis 2 was supported. These show that the individual who are confident in managing their finance are more likely to save for retirement. The findings are consistent with the previous study. Individuals with higher financial self-efficacy are more confident in making financial decisions, overcoming financial challenge, and achieving long-term financial goals. And for young adults working in Sabah, financial self-efficacy helps them manage their finance despite of having low household income and increasing living costs. Therefore, financial education and budgeting programs can help strengthen retirement saving intention. In summary, financial self-efficacy play an important role in retirement planning. It should be considered when designing financial education program and retirement planning initiative because it encourage individual to take an action with maintain long-term saving behavior. And now we move into the retirement planning awareness and retirement saving intention. The third objective was to examine the relationship between the retirement planning awareness and retirement saving intention. So the results show that retirement planning awareness had the strongest positive influence on retirement saving intention with a beta value of 0.451 and a significant level of less than 0.001. Therefore, this hypothesis 3 was supported. This indicates that individuals who understand the importance of retirement planning are more motivated to save for retirement. So the findings are consistent with the previous study and support the priority of the Financial Education Network or known as FEN. Respondents who were more aware of the financial consequences of not preparing for retirement were more likely to set a very long-term financial goal, seek financial information and begin to saving early. And this suggests that increasing retirement planning awareness has a greater impact than simply improving financial knowledge. So, in conclusion, the study found that the financial literacy was not a significant predator of retirement saving intention. However, the financial self efficacy and retirement planning awareness had a significant positive influence on retirement saving intention among young working adults in Sabah. Among these variables, retirement planning awareness was the strongest predictor. Therefore, programs that improve financial confidence and increase awareness of retirement planning are recommended to encourage young working adults to prepare for a more financially secure retirement. Next, I will explain the implication of this study. The implications are divided into two parts, namely the theoretical implication and the practical implication. Now, the first one we look into theoretical implication. This study contributes to the existing knowledge on retirement planning and financial behavior, especially among young working adults in Sabah. Unlike many previous study that focuses on the financial well-being or retirement saving in general, this study specifically examined retirement saving intention among young working adults in Sabah. In addition, this study extends existing behavioral theory by applying three important concepts, which are financial literacy, financial self-efficacy, and retirement planning awareness. The findings also provide useful empirical evidence that can support future researchers who wish to study retirement planning behavior among different population groups, particularly in East Malaysia. Overall, this study contributes to future research on the behavioral, psychological and socio-economic factors that influence retirement saving intention. Now we look at the second part, that is practical implication. The finding of this study provide practical benefit to several important stakeholders. First, policymaker and government agencies such as Financial Education Network, Bank Negara Malaysia, and the Employee Provident Fund or EPF can use this finding to develop more effective financial literacy and retirement planning program for young working adults in Sabah. Second, financial institutions can introduce suitable retirement saving products and provide financial advisory service that match the financial needs of young working adult. The third one, employers can organize financial wellness program, workshop, and retirement planning seminar to improve employees' financial knowledge and decision-making skill. And finally, the finding encourage young working adults themselves to increase their awareness of retirement planning, develop positive financial habits, and start saving early to achieve a more secure financial structure. So, in conclusion, the finding of this study provide valuable guidance for researcher, policymaker, financial institution, employers, and young working adults in promoting better retirement planning and improving retirement saving intention. Next, I will explain the limitation of this study. The first limitation is that this study only focused on young adults working age between 21 until 35 years old who are living in Sabah, Malaysia. Therefore, the findings may not represent working adults from other state or different age group. Next, the second limitation is the use of cross-sectional research design. Since the data were collected at only one point in time, this study could not examine how retirement saving intention may change over the time. The third limitation is that the study used self-administered questionnaire because respondents answer based on their own perceptions and experience. Their response may have been influenced by social desirability, bias, or their personal interpretation of the questionnaire item. And finally, this study only examined three independent variables, which is financial literacy, financial self-efficacy, and retirement planning awareness. Other important factors such as income level, financial obligations, social influence, employment stability, and financial risk tolerance were not included. Therefore, factors may also influence retirement saving intention can be explored in future research. Overall, although this study has several limitations, it still provides valuable insight into the factor influencing retirement saving intention among young working adults in Sabah. And as for recommendation for future research, these recommendations are based on the limitation identified in the study and may help improve future research on retirement saving intention. The first recommendation is to extend this research to other Malaysian states. This will allow researchers to compare retirement saving intention across different geographical region and socio-economic environment, providing a broader understanding of retirement planning among Malaysian working adults. The second recommendation is to adopt the longitudinal research design. Unlike this study, which collected data at one point in time, a longitudinal study can examine how retirement planning behavior and retirement saving intention change over time. The third recommendation is to include additional variable in future study. Besides financial literacy, financial self-efficacy, and retirement planning awareness, future researchers may consider factors such as financial stress, financial risk tolerance, social influence, financial technology adoption, income level, and employment stability. Including this variable may provide a more comprehensive understanding of retirement saving intention. And finally, future studies are encouraged to use qualitative research method such as interview or focus group discussion. This method can provide deeper insight into motivation, challenge, and experience that influence retirement planning behavior among young working adults. So, for our conclusion, the study successfully achieved of all its research objective by examining the factor influencing retirement saving intention among young working adults in Sabah, Malaysia. And the finding revealed that financial self-efficacy and retirement planning awareness have a significant positive influence on retirement saving intention, while the financial literacy alone is not a significant predictor. This study contribute to the existing literature and provide useful recommendation and policymaker, financial institution, employers, and financial education provider to improve retirement preparedness among young working adults. It is hoped that the findings will serve as a useful reference for future research and encourage young working adults to begin planning and saving for retirement at an early stage, leading to greater financial security and a better quality of life in future. Thank you, sir. This is the end of our presentation.